Hi, and welcome to this week's The Mortgage Broker broadcast. My guest this week is Robert Rusu from My Social Goals. And Robert's coming back onto the podcast. He was originally on the podcast back in August 2024, where we got into a bit of detail about websites and a bit more about marketing, digital marketing. And I just wanted to get him back on. There's a lot of change within his business and what he's doing now. A lot of change, obviously, within the mortgage industry with regards to technology, digital marketing, and embracing that technology. He's doing quite a bit more now, looking at CRMs and workflows. And so I just wanted to get him to come back. I just wanted him back on the podcast just to have a chat with him, just see what's been going on and what things he's seen within the industry from the outside looking in, as because he's not a broker, he's never done mortgage before, never run a mortgage business before. He's very much digital marketing. I just wanted to get his take on where he sees the industry growing, where he sees the industry going, what's been happening over the last 6 months, and how he's been educating himself in terms of technology and AI. And yeah, let's just get Robert onto the podcast. So, welcome back onto the podcast, Rob. How are you?
Thanks for having me here the second time. It's been a long 6 months and loads of things to share this time with you. So
Yeah,
I'm very fine. What about you?
yeah, very good, thank you. And you're right. It has been it was 6 months since you originally. The first time on the podcast was back in August 2024. So 6 months ago.
Yeah,
It's good to get you back on, and obviously, like you said, we got a lot to catch up on and a lot to talk about. Not only I think that obviously what you're doing, but the mortgage industry is changing quite a lot. And
yeah,
when I look at your website and see the things you talk about, then I'm interested to having a bit more chat about those. So yeah, looking
cool.
forward to it. So first of all, for those that haven't listened to the August 2024 podcast, first of all, please do that. But then if you haven't, do you want to just do a brief introduction, Robert, about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Robert Rusu, founder of My Social Goals. I started the company back in July 2023. And throughout the time, I worked with various industries, starting from landscaping companies, home improvements, finally ended up with mortgage brokers. So my area of expertise is specifically website design. I create high converting websites. And finally, my mission has totally changed to prevent burnout for mortgage brokers.
That's interesting. That's an interesting word, and we will get into that. But like that, how you've sort of come about that. So, like you say, last time when you came on, with the first time, we talked predominantly about website development and the pros of having the reasons why brokers should have websites and things like that at their own website. In terms of just taking you back a little bit, step, you sort of said you worked with various industries. What made you want to work with mortgage brokers, Robert? Because it's not the most glamorous in the industry, and it's not like the most exciting of topics is mortgages. But what made you want to work with mortgage brokers?
Yeah, this is a question that I still haven't answered to myself. I mentioned that Chris Hazel Mortgages was my first ever client in the mortgage industry. And compared to other industries that I've worked with, I like uh, I really like how you guys are working and the various limitations they have, like having to go through compliance checks, and it's pretty hard to market yourself as a mortgage broker. So I took all of this as a challenge to myself and tried to find and develop solutions for the mortgage industry because I really like it, even though I don't have anything related to it, like my parents or other people that I know. Well, I've never heard of these jobs, like they've never been inside these jobs, so I don't have any direct connection apart from my first clients in the industry. But for some reason, I just took pride and I really enjoyed to help Chris Hazel. And if I develop some solutions for him that I can see and they can be used by other mortgage brokers, why not? So I just switched to uh, I just changed my niche completely.
And like I say, it's good that you've done that and been brave enough to think, actually, I want to focus on one particular industry and get that right because it is it's not the like most glamorous of topics to talk about on website creation. And when you're looking to get creative in our space in our industry, then it's always a difficult one. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a different chosen topic. But at least you've got into it Robert, now, which is the main thing. So when you look back in terms of the client mortgage industry, what when because obviously the good thing is you've come from no you're not an advisor, you've got no history in our space, you've not got any connection at all within the mortgage industry. When you look back and sort of had your first client, you look at the industry as a whole. What were you seeing? What were your thoughts as a digital marketing specialist? What were your thoughts when you first saw our industry?
It's interesting question. I definitely saw many mistakes probably made by advisors because obviously it's a high competitive industry and it has its downsides. And I think the burden to put on a single advisor, like having to do everything himself, he obviously will do many wrong decisions, especially when it comes to the digital landscape where everything is complicated and you have to work hard to find answers and solutions that really work for the thing that you're trying to solve. And I thought that I may be able to create some sort of workflows, uh, something at least to bring the pain away, like to take the pain away from the mortgage broker from having to do everything himself.
I think that's
And
the thing. Sorry, go on.
probably
Go, go on. Sorry, no, go on. Sorry.
yeah, that's the main thing that I initially saw in the industry, apart from all the regulations with compliance.
I think that's the thing is going back to it. You sort of said about the compliance and the regulation side of things. I think that's sort of that does have an impact in terms of from the mortgage broker's point of view, and I think that's well from and a business point of view, but it's just something that we understand that we have to deal with day in, day out, week in, week out, whatever we're doing anyway, whether that is marketing or whether that's advising. It's sort of part of the joys of being a mortgage broker. But like
Yeah,
in terms, and like you say, it is about taking away the pain. I think that most of the people that listen to this podcast are self-employed, or the most comments I get are from self-employed mortgage brokers who are going to be feeling that pain, who are sole traders or doing it on their own and doing everything like you say. And so if you can look at things like processes and workflows like you have been doing that will benefit the industry, then that's a massive thing. Do you want to explain a little bit more about when you sort of talk about taking away the pain? Was it workflows that was a big thing for you, or was it anything else, or was just workflows part of it, or of the solution, or?
Um, this comes from a personal experience inside business. I never liked having to follow up with leads that are not gonna that I'm not sure they're gonna become clients. Having to do all of those admin stuff that everyone has to do in the business space. And I was always passionate about AI and how that can help you get through many things and hurdles. Like it can be even your personal assistant. I personally use AI for most of the things that I'm doing inside the company. And yeah, uh, sorry, I forgot the main point of the
No, no, no,
question.
it's fine. So in terms of like you say, AI, sort of in terms of the workflows, it was about the workflows and sort of talking about sort of what when you sort of saw the pain that mortgage brokers, was it workflows that was the biggest issue within the industry?
Yeah, pretty much. That was the main thing because when you get a client, it all comes back to the process and the standard procedure that you have for each client. So that's a repetitive task, and it also leads to burnout because people don't like doing the same thing every single time, and especially if that thing takes a lot of hours to do. For example, chasing for documents, following up with leads, and all of those painful tasks that are actually required in order to help them.
Absolutely, you are seeing this sort of firsthand. I was until when you look at how you've integrated. Obviously, you're a different business to a mortgage broker, but you've integrated AI into your business in terms of follow-ups, which is one like there's obviously a lot of things, but in terms of follow-ups, because that's the big thing for mortgage brokers as well. If like you said, leads that are coming through that are not and you're having some sort of follow-up process with regards to, is that what you're looking at doing? Is it like, is it back-end workflow with regard to like with leads coming in terms of the follow-up process around that? Is that what something that you're working with brokers?
Yeah, that too. However, what we try to do is act like an admin team and take care of everything that comes to admin. For example, you book a call with a lead and that lead doesn't show up. AI is going to do his thing and he's going to move that lead to a ghosting stage, have a couple of emails, and that's only as an example for one thing. But we try to cover most painful admin tasks that are actually not required to do by human.
Okay. And are you doing that? So you're doing that as part of your business, Robert? Is then, are you are you replicating that from a mortgage broker business point of view, or is that what you're purely doing for mortgage brokers, or you've not? Where's it at in terms of the pain points with that side of things?
It all comes from solutions that I found working for my business first. When I was struggling with the admin side of my business, especially when I was alone, after I found those solutions like the CRM and all the stages, and I can simplify my process and have it being done every single time I get a new client. Um, that's when I thought that this may be a really good solution for my clients too, because they also go through the same pain that I've been going through. And once I found a solution and I found it working for myself, obviously I tried to push it on my clients. Chris, which has been one of them, has actually found it really helpful because I've been I've been doing this, but not really thinking about how this actually helps people. Even though I had a really like a vague idea, but from what I found working with Chris, I thought I can develop something even better.
Okay, and I think that's it. Like you say, it's good that you've put it into practice in your own business and seeing then actually how that can transition into the mortgage broker industry and be a benefit from that point of view. So when you talk about AI's integration with your workflows, is that just at the lead part, or is that all throughout the process with you when we're talking about workflows with AI, or is it just AI at the start?
Um, it, Ideally, what we try to create is something that is gonna work alongside with you. For example, the main thing that we do is we make sure potential clients don't slip through the cracks by having a brilliant online presence, like a new website, all your pages are sorted and you're ready for growth. And then with the CRM and AI, that simplifies your process. Um, First of all, I like to make a little note. We don't put AI to give any mortgage advice or anything that you should be doing. Obviously not. But
Absolutely.
what is AI doing is just taking the pain of responding to each lead that may be time wasting and time consuming, and helping that lead get your actual expert opinion if it really needs it. And ideally, like it can be used for pretty much everything inside your business, from leads that are booking calls on your website, then actually clients that have converted into clients, and you have to collect documents, you have to follow up with them because they didn't send you at that certain time. And obviously, these are all things that add up and take a lot of your time. And especially, it also comes down to cost because uh, beginner mortgage brokers don't have the budget to hire a full-time admin employee that takes care of everything.
So in terms of when you're working with, and this is the industry that you're working in terms of niche wise, with regards to you're sort of talking there about, you sort of said about CRM. So have you got your own CRM system in place? Is that something that you've also created that works with your website creation, which one works with the CRM, then one works with your workflows? Is it like sort of all integrated into one thing?
Yeah, it is integrated. Obviously, we didn't create a CRM platform, but we customized and we create the workflows ready-made. For example, if someone comes to us with this type of problem, it's all ready and plug and play. Like we're just gonna install this to you, and you're gonna have all the workflows for most of the processes. And obviously, if you have something different, then we can add that too. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works with a CRM, and it's all integrated like forms on your website, directly connected to the CRM. So you've got pretty much a central inbox because you can also see the messages and emails from various social media channels or email providers, and it's all in one place, so you don't have different subscriptions for different stuff, and you have to go through each website to find something, and it's just easier to have it all connected, like your website and your CRM, where you can do everything from there.
So, sorry, so just to clarify, which that makes sense apart from that, with regards to the CRM side of things, is it the broker? So, do you work with brokers' existing CRMs, or are you providing your own CRMs, or are you putting workflows within the existing CRMs, if that makes sense?
So we use Go High Level as our primary
Okay.
CRM, and it also has its own integrations and functionality. But uh, how we differ is that we actually created all of those workflows inside Go High Level, and all you have to do is just connect your email provider and your social media channels. In rest, everything is already connected and everything is ready to go. And if the broker has a different CRM system, he may choose to keep his CRM system and just add the workflows if we can from high level that we already use to their CRM or vice versa.
Okay, because like I said, most CRMs, well, I'm very keen on workflows. I've used workflows for a long time. And so, like, if the CRM has got workflows, the benefits are huge, which you already understand. I think the thing is I just wanted to clarify whether, because most CRMs will be able to have workflows in. There's very few
Mhm.
CRM systems that you can't customize workflows. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know any that you can't customize. So what you're saying is what you've created within Go High Level, and you're working with brokers on and the website creation and Go High Level. You're then able to lift those workflows and then replicate those into that. If that workflow has got that if that CRM has got that custom workflow, then you're able
Functionality.
to then work from that point of view.
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Okay. So in terms of like when you sort of looking at each broker in each firm, are you sort of finding that the needs and the pain points and everything is pretty much the same from every single broker, or is every broker's unique? Or are you finding that as an industry you've got generic solutions to the problems that we have as a generic industry based?
To be honest, I did see the same pattern amongst many mortgage brokers, like pretty much all of them. Like, I can't make that whole statement, but let's just say that. And like these are the pains of the actual job. Like you have to get a client to get their documents and follow up with them and everything coming from admin. Like you have to do them. And like there's no mortgage business that can live without doing all of those stuff. But we also can work with people that already have an admin team, and that just links back to efficiency. If that team is doing everything manually, gathering all of their documents and spending manual time on each email being sent, then obviously your admin can focus on other stuff while the CRM and workflows are doing this thing. So this can work for pretty much everyone in the mortgage industry, whether you're individual or you already have a team.
I think the thing is though is whether with any sort of change in terms from a firm's point of view, like you say, you are talking about quite an adaptable change, and the changes for the better, and you are seeing the benefits. And I know some of the brokers you work with, they're seeing it firsthand, the benefits of working with yourself, and in terms of how you've integrated their process, how you've streamlined their process, and made them far more efficient. Which is what you sort of said there, Rob, which is is my take on the industry with regards to AI. AI will never, well, I can't see any time soon any AI replacing actual mortgage advice. It's not going to do the job
Mhm.
of the brokers. So the clients will still need that face to face or virtual or phone calls of that one to one with that mortgage broker to give them the best advice. Whether that changes in decades to come, then who knows? But I'm not going to be too worried about that. I'm worried about the next 10 years, really. And I'm talking about the next 10 years. And I think that seeing brokers, seeing firm owners that have embraced AI and seeing as how it can benefit them as a business, working smarter, no distractions, and sort of really being far more effective of how they run their
Hmm.
business, of embracing that and seeing it AI as that benefit rather than thinking AI is taking over the world and I'm not going to have a job because they're going to be
Yeah.
doing mortgage broking in 10 years' time, which they're not. It's then, but then these brokers that I see that then they've just got their head in the sand or whatever sort of analogy you want to use, and just not embracing the forward thinking with the technology, because lenders are working with technology and AI even more than they have done before to streamline their processes. So why would
Hmm.
brokers not do the same? So is that how you sort of seeing? But so if I'm a broker and just having a chat with you for the first time, thinking, do you know what, Robert, I've listened to you, I'm interested to hear more. Do you find that a lot of brokers are just sort of not worrying too much about it, thinking, "Oh, I'll worry about that in the future, I'll worry about it in the future," and all of a sudden then technologies and AI has gone far too far advanced for them to catch up. Do you think that there is a element of not just keeping it at arm's length because I don't want to worry about it right now with the AI technology?
To be completely honest, that's exactly what I wanted to say. I am just amazed at people sitting there and being worried, like, oh my God, AI is going to take my job or stuff like that, instead of actually trying to implement it for themselves and see what they can actually do. And obviously, AI is dangerous, obviously, but if you use it right and use it to your own advantage, 100% you're going to go over everyone that's not going to be using it, and it's just going to stay there thinking about all of those bad and cons that come with AI. So I suggest mortgage brokers to start acting quickly because it's advancing pretty scarily and it's capable of doing things without our comprehension. So obviously they should try and find solutions with AI and how they can help them. But what they should not do is just sit there and being scared of AI taking the jobs. They should always use it to their advantage.
Absolutely, I 100% agree, and I'm glad you've experienced that firsthand, Robert, because I see that as well in terms of that not embracing because it's not something that they know, and I think it's just down to education. I think it's just down to
Yeah.
knowledge, and if brokers understood fully how AI can benefit them, not this fear of taking the roles, 'cause it's not. So park that to one side and forget about that. Think about how you can embrace technology, embrace
Mm.
an AI to benefit you as an individual and benefit your firm. But I'm glad you are seeing it firsthand because I've seen that firsthand too, and I think that's sort of the reason why I wanted you to come back on the podcast, because obviously we've moved on from websites. Think about how much things have moved on in the last 6 months. You wanted to come
Yeah.
back on to because you sort of said things have changed so much, which clearly they have. But the point and the message from the podcast is reach out to people like yourself who know about the technology, who know about the and like yes, you say like there is that AI is very, very powerful in the wrong hands, but it's about using this as a tool to work far more smarter, far more efficient as a mortgage broker, as a business owner, to then whatever that looks like to you in terms of success. So whether that's being efficient and having more time with family and friends and doing what you want to do, or whether that's growth or whether that's scaling, whatever that means to you, embracing AI will just help you to scale and grow quicker. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. And so I believe that in, for example, 10 years' time, companies that are not using AI will just become outdated because AI is going to do stuff that they cannot do, and it's going to cost a lot of money to employ people that do what AI can do at a very little cost. So that's what I think the future of AI is, and what's going to happen to people that are just going to decide to worry about it for later. It's just going to the opportunity is here for a limited time until we evolve into something that we may not be able to recognize.
Which is a good point. And I think, like I say, it is about embracing it. It is about sort of moving forward with it because, like you say, if you are not moving as a business and embracing it, you are going to get left behind, and it's going to be a case of is it could it be a point where it's too late, like you say? I don't. It's going to be interesting to sort of see. I think the thing is, what I'm hearing from you, Robert, is that you've got to be making sure you're embracing it and learning it and having your own knowledge and educating yourself, developing yourself in terms of what, and then once you understand what AI is capable of, it's then thinking, how can I implement that into my business
Mhm.
to make it more effective? But and that's where people like yourself come in because this is something
Yeah.
you know about, you've learned about, this is what you've done. You've then sort of seen actually how can AI benefit my business, your own business from your own point of view. Then that sort of transpired into thinking actually this could really help brokers. These could help the clients that I
Mhm.
work with to then embrace that. So it's a great point to finish on, Robert. And I think that's sort of for those people that are thinking about it or wanting to know more or just understanding really what you can do and how you can help and support their business to be more effective, whether that's website, CRM, workflows, and AI integration. What's the best thing for them to do? Just obviously, I'll tag you into podcast. Just reach out and book a call. I know, like on your website, I looked before. You can just book a call into your website. Is that the best way
Mhm.
to do it?
Yeah, yeah, they can book a free call, and that's the easiest way because there's no going back and forth. You just pick a time that you like, and we're gonna have a chat and see how I can help you. And one thing that I wanted to touch on, exactly like you said, it all comes back to education, and it's okay if you don't know anything about AI and how you can help them because it's a complicated subject. For example, if even if you purchase a CRM subscription, when you go there and see the endless possibilities that you can do, your mind just goes blank and you don't know what to start and what workflows do you need, and it's just a mess. And I believe that if you can get the proper advice to have everything sorted for you and your processes outlined, I think is just an easier and more efficient way for you rather than just spending hours. Because I spend hours, probably weeks, to understand everything that I understand right now to the level I do. And obviously, you just don't have the time to do that when you're a full time business owner. And yeah, there's no shame into asking for advice, even though it's not from me. There may be other companies out there doing the same thing, but I know that I'm unique on one thing.
But that's the thing is like you are the expert in it. You understand it. You've spent time and educating yourself. You update and like your knowledge. Like I say, as a business owner like myself, I don't have the time to keeping myself up to speed on AI as much as I would like to, and that's something that I need to be focused on. But you've gone through that. You've gone through the pain as business owners, as mortgage brokers. It's just a case of okay, well, tell me what I can do. Tell me what you know. Tell me how that can improve my process. Tell me the benefits of why I should be doing this.
Mhm.
Yes, it's going to cost, but actually, the cost is going to like benefit you long term in terms of where you're going
Yeah,
and trying and what you're trying to do with scaling your business. So it's a good point, Robert.
yeah, yeah, and totally. And you can't grow a business if you don't spend money, and that's the harsh reality.
Absolutely.
And once like you can either suffer the pain of spending some money in the beginning rather than suffering the pain of not doing anything and just sticking to your old ways and watch how other businesses that just started they can start like a year ago and you've been in the industry for like 10 years and they can get higher than you. It's just that pain of regret of not taking action.
exactly. I think that's it is, and I think it's about taking action now to then not get the cost now will outweigh the cost in the future. If you d the cost now and the investment now will benefit you in the future. It might sort of seem as a short-term cost, but you've got to look at the long-term game, and this is what we mortgage brokers are always in this for the long term. They always
Mhm.
are. So you've got to invest right now because it will cost you more in the future to catch up in the future.
Yeah.
You will have lost money whilst you're catching up, and then you will lose money trying to catch up. So it's
Mhm.
yeah, you've certainly got to be aligned with your business in terms of what you're trying to achieve and your growth plans. Definitely, definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Anything else I've missed off? Anything else we've not talked about, Robert, that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, probably about the burnout prevention because I mentioned this to you, but I didn't mention to everyone that there may be other agencies out there offering kind of the same thing, but I'm proud to be the only one linking it to burnout because taking care of admin well for a couple of hours a day and that work is atrocious because I know it myself. It definitely leads to burnout because as people we don't like to do something we don't like for a extended period of time, something which advisors and brokers have been doing. And obviously, there may be brokers out there on the verge of burning out and they don't even know it. And once that plug and play system comes into place and takes all of their pain away, they can actually see how distracted they were from the actual vision that they had just because they were spending time on the wrong thing.
That's a great point, and I think, like you said, burnout is a huge thing in our industry, and it is. And I think the thing is, right, just the way that technology is going, it will create more mental burnout for individuals who feel they will have that panic of thinking, I ain't got time to
That's
learn this.
too,
I need to know this, but and then that just creates more because then it's just like a downward spiral or the hamster wheel you're never going to get off, and it's just whereas it is. But burnout's a massive thing, and it's very underestimated, not just with our industry, but as a whole. And I think the mindset of not embracing technology, the mindset of not and having that burnout factor in your mind of the way that because you've not embraced the solutions and just sort of panicking and panicking and panicking about it, that just makes
yeah,
it in a worse place rather than actually going, "Do you know what? Let me just take a step back. Let me just breathe. Let me just look at what actual solutions are out there with regards to this." And like you are one that it clearly says on your website, maximizing growth, minimizing burnout. Well,
yeah,
why that's the sort of thing. Well, actually, I need to be looking there and focusing there because that's something that people don't acknowledge. But then actually, when you do take a step back and you do acknowledge, thinking, I do need to sort this out because it's not, you've got a long term business, you've got long term growth, you've got long term scaling. But if you're on
yeah.
burnout, if you are burning out, that's short term. You'll be done. You won't have a long term business because you'll just be burnt out and then do whatever you need to do to either get out, sell out, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and it's really easy to lose that vision that you once had when you started all of this thing that you want to help whatever clients get the right mortgage or any personal visions that you might have. It's really easy, and you can even lose it in 1 week to when you get stuck in that chaos of running everything yourself and having to go to different topics and be like a five employees into one person, for example.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Fine. So, Robert, as I said, I think people get to your website, mysocialgoals.com. They're obviously telling more, you're talking more about you maximizing growth, minimizing burnout. You've got a few stories on there, a few case studies as well. You've got links to get booked in the diary. I think
Mhm.
it's a case of reaching out, having a chat with yourself, and just looking at getting a bit more detail on a one-to-one basis of what solutions you can provide, how you can help, put in efficient processes, make working smart with brokers, then them working smart within the business. So I certainly recommend anybody to be reaching out to your website and booking a call and just having a chat about you. Like it's difficult on a podcast because it's just very generalized and just trying to understand
Yeah,
a bit more about you and what you're offering. Whereas booking that call is from it's a more one to one. It's about their business and how you can help and support them. So, but no, Robert, thank you for coming back on. Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing
thank you
what's
for having
happened
me
in the
again.
last 6 months. No, no, no problem. It's good. It's been good to have a conversation. And then like that, we'll probably as the industry's changed, we'll probably another 6 months time. Who knows where we'll be, and we'll get you back on again. But thanks ever so much for your
Definitely.
time. Thanks for ever coming back on, Robert. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Craig.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks for agreeing to come back onto the podcast. It was great to get you back on and just talk about really what's going on with the industry from an AI point of view and what you've seen over the last 6 months in terms of changes and moving forward as well. And I think it's okay, Robert, being on the podcast and giving a general overview in terms of what he's doing with workflows, CRMs, embracing AI technology. I think the best thing to do is, as always, is just arrange a call with him, arrange a one-to-one meeting. So because your business is unique, you are unique as a mortgage broker, but then you can sort of drill down a little bit more detail about how what it means to you, what you're looking for, how it can work for you, rather than sort of the generalization, which is going to be on a podcast anyway. There's nothing we can do about that. So, but yeah, what I would say is if you are thinking about it or want to know more about it, get onto Robert's website. The link in the show notes. Just have a chat with him and sort of see how he can help you to grow your business and embrace technology and embrace AI to streamline your processes, shall we say. So, yeah, so thanks, Rob, for coming back on. And if you are thinking about being a self employed mortgage broker, or you're looking to start your own mortgage broker brand and business, or you are looking to scale and grow your existing business, visit my website, craigskelton.co.uk, book a discovery call, or just send me a WhatsApp. Let's just have a chat about how I can help you and support you to grow your business, scale your business, whatever that looks like to you in 2025. And as always, please don't forget to run your own race.